Hey guys, it's me, Mario. And today we're going to continue Trillion, the Three-Headed Lion. Chapter 3, Courage and Strength. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. We're coming, Tom shouted as he and Elena scrambled back down the rock face. But the hyenas were closing in fast, their howling echoing across the plains. I left my bow and arrow down there, Helena cried. Tom held out his shield. Use this to defend yourself while you get them. But you'll need it, Helena gasped. I have other protection, Tom replied, his hand pressing against his chainmail and shining breastplate. The moment his hand touched the golden armor, he felt the magic working. The chainmail filled his heart with blazing courage. At the same time, strength flowed from the breastplate to all his muscles. He felt no fear. 1,000 hyenas could attack him. He would defeat them all. And he would defeat them all. He pressed the shield into Elena's arms and leaped from the rock with a shout. His sword slashing in his hand, he landed among the hyenas, his blade slicing the air. His other arm raised to fend off the gnashing teeth and scrambling claws. A few hyenas fell and the others drew back, surrounding him, glaring at him, but keeping out of his sword's reach. He saw Elena leap down off the rock, the shield held out in front of her. A hyena pounced, but she struck it with the shield and sent it scrambling. You won't defeat me, Elena cried out to the vicious animals. Another hyena came at her, but she sidestepped and kicked out at the creature as it plunged past her. Storm and Silver were also fighting hard, battling to keep the hyenas away from Tagus. Storm was rearing, beating the hyenas back with his kicking hooves. The power of his legs sending the wild animals spinning through the air. The horseman was trying to get to his feet, but Tom could see he was weak from loss of blood and could do nothing to help. Silver was on the ground, wrestling wildly with two of the hyenas. For a dreadful moment, one of them managed to clamp its jaws on the wolf's neck. But Silver quickly struggled to his feet, shaking off his attacker. Swinging his sword, Tom ran forwards. Storm, to me, he shouted. The noble stallion neighed loudly at the sound of his voice and came plunging towards him through the mass of hyenas. Hoof stamping, Tom swung up into the saddle, grasping the reins and urging Storm forward. The wolf and the horseman towards the wolf and the horseman. His blade slashed and spun, the golden gauntlets bestowing special sword skills. The cowardly hyenas backed away, snarling and slavering as Tom reached Silver. A moment later, Elena was at his side, her bowstring thrumming as she sought the her bowstring thrumming as she shot arrow after arrow into the pack. "Get away!" Tom shouted. A long, whining howl of defeat sounded. The pack slung back, then turned and fled. Filled with joy, Tom tugged his heels into Storm's flanks, urging the horse to gallop after them. He wasn't going to let the hyenas regroup and attack again. He would give them such a chase that they would never come back. Elena shouted, "Tom, be careful!" But he had no fear as he galloped across the plains. Suddenly, a howl sounded from the rocks on one side. He turned his head and saw a huge hyena standing above him. Then there was another howl from the other side. He turned his head again and saw the shapes of more hyenas. 2 new packs had arrived. Storm whined uneasily, turning about as the packs swarmed closer. They began to howl and whine again. And this time there was a new hunger in their eyes. Tom raised his sword as the hyenas approached. And that was chapter 3. Yeah. This book is awesome to read. Why do these chapters always end up in a cliffhanger? But yeah. That was chapter 3. What is this chapter called again? I have to check. Hold on. Courage and Strength. Yes. Chapter 3, Courage and Strength. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this read through the chapter Courage and Strength. And I hope I will see you in the next chapter. Bye-bye, everyone.